Aloha, my name is Liana. I'm so happy to be part of the presentation of Music 102, World Music Culture. And the artist I'm doing is the famous group known as LADYSMITH Black MAMBAZO. As you can see, this is a picture of the group, and they are the famous African choral male groups. The names listed below are the members of this group. And my next slide is a little brief history on this group. And the LADYSMITH Black MAMBAZO is a male choral group from South Africa that sings in the vocal styles of Iskandmia and Mumbai, and they rose to worldwide prominence as a result of singing with Paul Simon on his album Graceland, and they have won multiple awards including 3 Grammy Awards. This group has now become a mobile academy teaching people about South African culture. And I'm gonna play you something from their album, and it's called In the Jungle, and I hope you enjoy it. Here we go. Oh, how did you guys like the video? Did you like it? I did too. I really loved the video, especially in the vocals where they keep changing voice and they keep coming in at different parts, especially the backup singers. Well, the next slide is a history of about the founder. The founder of this group is Joseph Shabalala. Joseph was born in the town of Ladysmith. It's a region in South Africa. His parents, Jonathan Malouane Shabalala and Nomandla Elena Shabalala, raised Joseph and his 6 siblings on a white-owned farm called Tugela. His father died in the late 1940s. Joseph, being the eldest, had to take care of the family. He left the farm, however, in 1958 to search for work in the nearby town of Durban. During this time, he was spotted by a well-known group, the Durban Choir, after he delighted audiences with his smooth guitar playing and soprano voice. When he joined the choir, he attempted to teach them some of his new compositions, namely his first song, No Matheba, which was made into a play in 1995. They refused, and so he left them after only 2 years. In 1960, Joseph discovered an Iskandmia group, the Highlanders, led by his hero, Gillian. Hoswayo was the man who encouraged Joseph to use his voice powerfully. And after the local radio airplay, Joseph accepted recordings and was offered in 1972 by Jello Music producer Wes Nkosi. The group sold over 40,000 copies of their first album and continued to do so through other recordings. In 1975, Joseph became a Christian, and the songs in the MAMBAZO repertoire was shuffled to one side to include generalized Christian, Methodist, and Zionist hymns sung in Zulu language. The next video that I'm gonna play is his video about church songs, and I hope you enjoy this one too. Sing praise, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like to feel and grace that fear relieved. How precious did that grace appear from the hour I first believed. Wow, can I get an amen? That was so spiritual. Okay, the next slide, or this slide, is known as Joseph Shabalala's formed Ladysmith Black Mambazo because of a series of his dreams he had in 1964 in which he heard certain ischemia harmonies, and that it means it was the tradition of his people, or the Sulu tribe in Africa. Joseph was born on August 28, 1941, and in Africa also, and is the founder and a musical director of the South African choral group Lady Smith Black Mambazo. Following their local successes, wedding ceremonies, and other gatherings, Shabalala entered them into a competition. The group was described as so good that they were eventually forbidden to enter the competitions, but welcome to entertain them. They released their first album, known as MAMBAZO, and below is a picture of their album in 1973. The album, along with many other releases by the group, received gold disc certification. Lady Smith Black Mambazo collaboration with Paul Simon in 1986 paved the way for international releases, and the white guy playing the guitar is Paul Simons. He helped them go through a lot and release their albums. The next slide is 1960 and 1986, which was the first incarnation of Lady Smith Black Mambazo, and was formed by Shabalala in December 1960. The members of the group were relatives. They were mostly brothers and cousins of Shabalala, with many having sung with him while he was growing up in the farm where he was born. Although the group did sing well together and captured the sound of the Mumbai groups of the time, they were known outside the Ladysmith district. The three elements of the new name were the hometown of Shabalala's family, the black ox, considered to be the strongest farm animal, and the mambazo, which means X in the Zulu language and is a symbolic of the choir's ability to chop down the competitions they were included in. In 1976, Shabalala converted to Christianity, and a host of religious material now entered the group's repertoire. Mambazo's first religious album was the Ukukahawa Kalawanga, was released soon afterwards. It earned a double Platinum Disc award, and the groups came to be dominated by hymns, mostly Methodist. And it became one of their most popular religious albums, selling double gold discs within 3 weeks of release. Here is more church songs from their album, and this song is known as Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. Enjoy! Swing low, sweet chariot. I looked into my soul and what did I see? Coming forth to carry me home. Looks me right there, coming forth to carry me home. Sweet Lord, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Sweet Lord, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. And welcome back. Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. That was one of the nicest hymns I've ever heard. Well, in 1986 to 1993, Paul Simon traveled to Africa in the hope of collaborating with African musicians for his Graceland album. That was where he met Shabalala, and they recorded it. The first album that they recorded was known as Homeless. And it was known homeless because maybe they were homesick when they went and they did their recording in London. And however, on December 1991, Shabalala's brother and one of the best members in the group, Headman Shabalala, was shot and killed by Sean Nicholas, a white off-duty security guard. Paul Simon, who believed the killing to be racially motivated, led the court proceedings against Nicholas. Joseph stopped singing eventually, and was later on aided by the Christian beliefs. He then returned to singing, and this was one of his songs that he returned to singing of, and it was known as Homeless. I hope you enjoy this one too.
Homeless, homeless, moonlight sleeping on a midnight lake. Homeless, homeless, moonlight sleeping on a midnight lake. And we are homeless, we are homeless, moonlight sleeping on a midnight lake. And we are homeless, 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 moonlight sleeping on a midnight lake.
Oh, how sad. They had feelings of homelessness when they left to London to record their album, but they still had to do it for the future of their group. In 1993 to 2002, the apartheid system was abolished in 1994. The release of Nelson Mandela after 27 years of imprisonment brought a celebratory album release, which the group did, and in 1997 for a series television advertisement entitled Toast for Life for Hain Soup, Baked Beans, Salad. This group advertised it, and it became the #1 food for the British people, because this group was doing the advertisement for this particular product. And in 2008 to present days nowadays, there have been many questions on when the founder or director or composer and lead singer Joseph Shabalala would finally retire from this group. On January 2008, on January 23rd, 2008, Shabalala issued a statement on this. He said, I had a dream of a type of singing group that I wanted to create, not just a dream in a wishful way, but an actual dream while I was asleep. The beautiful dream led to the creation of my group Ladysmith Black Mambazo. Now, some 45 plus years later, his original dream has led to so many more dreams. We have been awarded Grammy Awards, represented our homeland of South Africa in many prestigious events, including accompanying Nelson Mandela to Norway to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. Traveled the world so many times, and most importantly spread a message of peace, love, harmony to millions of people. This was never a dream a black South African could ever imagine. As the years have passed and the 20th century became the 21st, I started to get asked what will happen to Ladysmith Black Mambazo once I retired, if I ever retired. Well, I have spent much time thinking about this. Ladysmith Black Mambazo was never about one person. Ladysmith Black Mambazo is a mission to spread our